Thank you everyone for coming. It's really nice to see another room so filled with people. Today we have Iuliia Perminova with us. She's, for those of you who don't know her, she's a 27-year-old, if I'm not mistaken, entrepreneur. And basically she has a passion for ice skating, right? That's her background. But as most of us grow older, we kind of, forget our own passions for a job. But she decided not to do that. She decided to make a business of her passion. So she went on with an academy, with, doing coaching on one-on-one, right? And then, it's not such a scalable business because you have to go with one person after another. So, probably she was like, how can I grow it? And then she decided to build an online course, but she didn't build just any online course. She did it with Olympic coaches, right? So that's another great thing. Another wide dream of yours is building an ice skating rink in Monaco, right, or surroundings.
Around Monaco.
Yeah, and so we're really pleased to have Iuliia today. So please.
Thank you for our invitation.
Yeah, thank you, Iuliia. So basically, your mission is to show that ice skating is for everyone. That's kind of the thing we see on your website. Can you just explain us a little bit about that? What's the idea behind skating for everyone?
Yes, because ice skating is a sport which considered as a sport for special people with who can do incredible things on ice, that you need to start to learn ice skating from 3 years old. And I want to show that ice skating is for everyone, and you can start learn ice skating at any age with any level, from the beginner level, and get best results within a few lessons, even if you're 40, 50, 60 years old.
Why do you think people just don't assume they can do ice skating? Like, do you think there is a misconception, and how are you trying to break it?
No, because when we watch ice skaters on the TV, on videos, it seems like they do incredible exercise that are for people, for not normal people, and but the fact that if you know the right techniques, then you can learn it easily with a few lessons very fast. And when I went to United States, I learned this kind of techniques that goes with you through many years, and you can do it after 10 years or 20 years in your life, even if you don't practice. This is the point.
All right, okay. Just to roll back a little bit, you had the job in Paris before being a coach, right?
Yeah.
How did you decide to break off that job? Because, maybe some people here are already entrepreneurs, maybe some have jobs, maybe some are looking for jobs in the future. And, having a safe job is very hard to break out from that, to say I'm going to be an entrepreneur. And I'm always interested about, this very specific time in the head of someone. How did it happen? How did you decide to make the break?
First of all, I was teaching ice skating since I was 12 years old, because young ice skaters teach younger skaters since they're teenagers and kids. It's normal. And then I continued to teach when I was in school and university. It helped me to gain some money, and then I was working in Paris in asset management company Amundi in the technological sector, doing marketing there, and I was creating online lessons for employees of this company to help them during COVID adapt themselves to work at home. And then I decided to create my own course in ice skating, because I'm a professional in that. I have my coaching diploma in United States and Russia, and I have this capability to teach others online and offline, so I decided to create this course. I didn't leave the job yet when I started to create it, and during COVID I had a lot of free time. Usually in Paris you spend 2 or 3 hours on the road to go to work, but when you work from home you have more time, so I started to create this, and I went to Moscow to film the famous athletes to make this course. And then I changed for another work in technological startup in Sofia Antipolis, which went one day bankrupt, and then I decided that it will be more safe for me to develop my own business than to depend on someone else.
That's okay, cool. And you have as well, as you explained in this magazine that you can all read, and you can take it home, by the way. It's for you. You explained that you have some sort of your own methodology through the course, and it's not like just any online course, and you don't teach like any other people. So among the competitive advantages of your online course, I would say there is this unique methodology, as well as the fact that you have Olympic coaches actually training the people. So I want to touch base on these two things. Maybe the first one, can you tell us more about this methodology, how you came up with it, what it is?
Yes. After a lot of years of training ice skating in Russia, when I went to United States to take lessons with the coach of Olympic and World Champions, Rafael Rutynian, I found that there is another way of teaching. Rafael explained to me very secret, concrete techniques of ice skating, which lasts with you for many years. And then I adapted it for beginners, for people from zero level. We have now a lot of online ice skating academies that teach professionals, that show techniques for professionals, but not for beginners. So my course is adapted for beginners. For example, if you come for 45 minutes training session on the ice, at the end you know how to do the beginner exercises, even if you never skated in your life. And I translate a lot, I give a lot of technical information that you need to practice by yourself after our lesson.
Because there is this part that there are a lot of like misconceptions, I would say, around this ice skating thing that I thought personally as well, which is also that you can only train on an ice skating rink, which is very limited in the world, and especially in certain areas. But you also develop throughout the course a method to actually train outside of the ice rink. Can you elaborate on that, even for like summer activities?
Yes, off-ice training is the most important, because professional ice skaters spend 80% of their time training off-ice. And my course is based in future way. For example, you want to learn how to make spins. So the famous athlete teach you for in 4-5 lessons how to do exercise and prepare yourself for spins on ice. You get very basic and special exercise to train your body. And then if on the ground at home, for example, and this exercise replace 2-3 hours in a gym, and then you get to the ice, and if you want to learn how to do spins on the ice, then you are already prepared for these spins and exercise, because you learn how to move your body, and you learn the right positions, which is also interesting if you are used to do yoga, gym, stretching exercise, but this is something new that you've never did before, and this is available for beginners, which includes all kinds of sports in one, and you learn new exercise that you didn't know that exist, and also you prepare yourself for the ice skating.
Right. So one thing I really like about this thing in particular is that we have our own assumptions of what's possible in business or not, and what's the addressable market. So that's a very important point when you start something. Who is your target client? And I would say, yeah, if you try to do an online course about ice skating, it's pretty limited, because only people who are on the ice rink can do it, right? But actually, when you're an insider of what you're trying to achieve and inside of your industry, you can find these loopholes of, no, there is an arbitrage in the market, because nobody's doing this course and nobody's teaching it this way, and so I can take this market share. And I thought that's very interesting one. Can you tell us more about, another thing that kind of shocked me is, you have Olympic coaches, and you didn't seem like, you have a lot of money to pay them up front, and I don't think that's how it went. So I was wondering how you actually convinced these people who are, at an Olympic level, Iuliia, like, hey, can you just come and teach on my course that I'm going to sell throughout the world? How actually did you make it happen? What was the deal for them?
Yes, I have a lot of contact of people from ice skating world, because I trained with the coach of Olympic champions. We were working together and we spent time together for years in the United States. And here I contacted my friends and contacts, and I had to contact a lot of ice skaters and their managers to sell them the idea. And finally I got some agreements, oral agreements with ice skaters to make this online course. I didn't pay anything, but if they...
What was the agreement? Go into the details. Like, how do you get an Olympic coach which has a very busy schedule? You told me that sometimes you would actually film them beyond midnight on the ice rink.
Yes, on midnight.
So it sounds like a huge involvement for them of their time. Like, did you make them understand the reach that you could have? What was in it for them?
Well, the life of an athlete is very short. You finish your professional career at 22 or 24, and then you continue it as a coach, or you do ice skating shows. But to skate in the shows, it also limited by the age, because your physical body will not be capable to do the same thing in 20 years. So, and plus it was the development of online courses during COVID, and Microsoft, Apple proposed these watches when you can play piano online or do skiing online. So I explained them that this could be a possibility to get passive income and to stay famous, because every famous athlete wants to stay famous during all their life, and they have their fun, who grow up but who still want to continue to learn from them. And also today in ice skating world, it's very hard to take lessons with the best coaches, with the best athletes, because it's not only expensive, it's not only because you need to pay for the road, for the trip, hotels in a new city, also because the best coaches take only talented athletes. But if you're just starting, if you want to reach the high level, then you don't have a possibility to learn from these coaches. So this was the approach that I had, and I explained to the athletes that it could keep them famous for a long time, and also they could continue teaching online because of that. And yes.
Cool.
Yes.
So fame overtakes money.
What?
Fame is a more important driver.
Not only fame, but also the possibility to give, also the option that you can give possibility to kids in every small city in Russia to learn interesting techniques from your celebrity for almost for free or for very cheap price. So the idea is to spread ice skating to everyone and not only keep it limited for talents.
Got it. Interesting. So my next question is, when you want to start a business, if you want to start a real estate company, it's very different than web agency company and everything. And so online courses is a business on its own, right? It's like when you go for online courses, you have to sometimes take training to actually learn how to do the online course. There is a whole way of building them and marketing them. So for someone starting one, it would be very difficult to get this full picture of how to build it, sell it, etc. Can you help us on what are the key moving parts in the business of building an online course that you need to set up so that you can actually go to market and start selling it?
Yes, if you are a specialist in one niche and you know how to teach other person and you already done it, then you create the methodology based on your experience and then you have to make a good quality videos, have a very clear presentation and lesson and explain in some simple words how to get to the result and then sell it online, because if the quality is good then it will be sold easier.
And so now we can talk a little bit about the funnel of these online courses and how you actually get these clients. So you have your academy, which have already their own your own clients. Of course, you want to make an online course so that you can scale your audience. How do you get this audience to find out about your course? Do you do paid advertising on Google for keyword search? How do you do that?
First of all, the online academy is the tool to make ice skating more popular and accessible to everyone. It's not my final objective. Final objective is to teach as much people as possible from beginner level of any age. So online course is a tool to get there. It's not my main goal. And first of all, I started to do online course because I had a lot of students, and during one lesson I explained a lot of difficult techniques and that they have to repeat by themselves, so they come to the next lesson and they already know everything we learned before. So this, first of all, I created online lessons of myself for my students, and then I decided that it will be interesting for other athletes. And athletes are so famous on social networks and in life, so they share their courses and people buy it.
Cool. So basically your distribution strategy is get Olympic coaches to make your course, get traffic from their own fame. So basically it's hey, this is a course I've made. You can find out about it here, and you're basically not only driving traffic from your own accounts because you have a lot of followers as well, I think, but you're also partnering with a lot of famous people inside of your online course, inside of your niche, to bring the traffic from all these people. And I think that was another smart thing. It's okay, I'm gonna try to build it on my own, or am I actually gonna collaborate with people to scale this to a certain level? So you actually have people promoting your online course on socials.
Yes, and it was the first time when they started to promote it for beginner level, because before it was only for professionals. As I told you, only if you are a high level student then you can get lessons from this kind of athletes, and this was for beginners, for their fans.
Cool. Let me get another question. So last question about the go-to-market strategies. You say you're making a course for beginners. What's kind of the ideal customer for your course? How do you, what's the target? Is it young people? Is it older people? You say it's a bit for everyone. Where would these people live? And if you can just help us understand how you framed the target audience for your courses.
Yes, two types of audience. It's parents of children, want their children to learn ice skating from best teachers, and or just to spend their time doing physical activities instead of playing iPad. And second type of audience are or elder women, single, who already have families, who want to do a new sport, not who already tried yoga, stretching, Pilates, gym, and this is something new that they never did before, and they learn new exercise. Even when they come to our off-ice training sessions, they are amazed how you can do in 5 minutes this new exercise and get a better result than in the gym, and faster. And plus you're already prepared for ice skating, and it's very interesting for them. And also it's a way of spending free time with your family. They can do it together with their kids, with their husbands, sisters and brothers, and have fun and get fit in an interesting way, and discover themselves, and discover the new way of sport and art that they never thought they could learn.
Because you told me that it also gave them some sense of feeling great about doing something that seems hard and something that is kind of exclusive, beautiful. It's a form of art. That's true. So if you can elaborate on this feeling that it gives people.
Yeah. Imagine that you never thought that you could start ice skating, and here you get the course that explains you step by step how to do exercise on the ground and then on the ice. And when you start to do it, you see that it's actually possible. And then even in your life, other circumstances start to change, and you see that even other problems become possible and easy, and you get the results in your real life after skating on the ice, and you feel yourself in a very new way when you learn new techniques and skating that you thought it was only for special people, or when you thought it's only for children. You have to start when you are young, and I cannot do it. And they overcome their fears on ice and then in real life too, and this is amazing. Especially when the mother comes to skate with her child. When she does the exercise, child does the same exercise faster if only training with the child, especially before 7 years old.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I find it beautiful as well that you build something, an online course that people consume, will buy, but actually are happy buying, having bought. Like the customer feedback seems great, and people like purchasing such course. So kudos on that. You also mentioned something that you have two audience. So one is parents of children, and the other is like older audience. And this is actually a concept in marketing, which is user and customer. And I only discovered this distinction yesterday, actually. So, a user is someone who uses your product, and a customer is someone who buys your product, right? That seems very trivial, but I'm very honest, I only understood conceptually the difference yesterday. And so, when you think of a PlayStation, right? If you think of who is going to purchase a PlayStation, is not the person who is going to buy it. So how does PlayStation and all these brands actually market themselves so that the parents are going to buy the PlayStation, and they are not the users? So that's a very tricky thing to achieve in marketing, and you have this distinction in your course. That's also interesting. Okay. I think we're gonna close there. Is there something you want to share more about what you're doing? Something I haven't asked?
Yes, as I told you, online course is the tool to develop ice skating, because at the moment I develop a lot of ice skating lessons, private camps, group camps. I have private ice skating camps in any country that you wish, for families, for small groups, for big groups. For example, in the last 2 months I organized ice skating camps in France, in Italy, in France near Toulon, in Italy in Varese. Then next one will be again near Toulon. Then during the summer we'll have a skating camp for family in Biarritz. And for this winter I prepare skating camp in Courchevel and in Switzerland. And this summer there will be a new skating camp. So I do a lot of work because I want to. I teach coaches who will train
Okay, you
other
teach
athletes.
coaches.
Yes,
Interesting.
tomorrow, for example, I meet a new coach who will replace me for some students and who will be able to come to skating camps. And so, for example, if you need a good quality coach of ice skating in any country of the world, I can give it to in Dubai, for example, in London, in any country. So this is the big project that I have, and ice skating online academy. It's the tool to spread it to everyone who cannot come to the camp, and it's available for any budget.
Interesting. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Iuliia Perminova. Do not move, we're gonna take a picture. Arnaud, merci. Thank you everyone for coming. I hope you enjoyed it.